Welcome back to the Tees Valley Business Summit 2019. I'm Graham Robb of Recognition PR, and we're broadcasting live from the summit throughout the event today from the Teesside University Olympia building. A lot of people coming, over 1,000 people, 109 businesses exhibiting, and I'm now going to be starting to talk to some of the businesses that are here. We've got on our panel Dean Benson from Visualsoft, from Lexonic, Claire Preston, and the new Chief Executive on the Entrepreneurs Forum, Jonathan Lamb. Let's start with you. Congratulations on your new appointment, Jonathan.
Thank you, Graham.
Entrepreneurs Forum is playing an important role in guiding entrepreneurship in the North East and promoting it. Tell us about the organisation and how people can get involved.
Well, the organisation exists primarily and solely to help those founders, owners of businesses grow them, take them to the next level, across different industry sectors, from different backgrounds, right across the full northeast of England. And practically, it helps in some ways by helping with mentoring the owners and founders of businesses make that next level. It has a scale-up program which helps coach those individuals take their business through a number of different areas, access to finance, skills and learning, etc. And a series of events, the big conferences in the spring and the autumn time, and then more intimate roundtable discussions. So people in business will learn and share and be inspired.
It's a super network, and it's a great joy to be in it as well. Claire Preston, Lexonic. Now, let's hear about what that business does, because it's got a lot of garlands in the last few months.
So, education is our business. We train teachers, Graham, and what we do is provide teachers and educators with the opportunity to accelerate learning and improve literacy levels, and we do that locally, nationally and internationally.
Yes, an exporter of education. Normally that's the preserve of universities. What do you export?
Services. So wherever people need additional support and strategies, skills and knowledge, we can be there to support teacher education. So improving teaching practice and therefore improving lives through the practice that they then deliver in their own settings.
Let's turn to Dean Benson now. You're the founder and chief executive of Visualsoft. Now, I have to say, Visualsoft is a success story that the rest of the country doesn't know enough about. Let me get this right. 2% of all credit card revenues going through buying things online go through your platforms.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely amazing. And you're doing sales worth nearly $2 billion a year on behalf of your customers.
Thank you. Can I first of all just say what a pleasure it is to be here, and thank you for the invite. What a great event, really busy. Visualsoft, that's probably what most people know me from. Yeah, we've got 300 staff across 3 offices in Stockton, Manchester, Newcastle.
Now, with those 300 staff, that's a big growth spurt, but it hasn't taken long to get there. It's been quite a while, but in the last few years, serious growth, hasn't it?
It's taken 21 years, so it's taken quite a while. I wouldn't recommend anyone take 21 years to get to this level, but I've learned an awful lot, and now it's all about giving back and helping others and teaching people as well.
But recently, you've had a significant expansion, haven't you? For instance, there's new offices in Newcastle.
Yeah, we've moved into Grey Street in Newcastle, and before we got the keys to the front of the office, we already filled it up. So we've actually got the back office too. We've got 8,000 square foot for a load of staff in Newcastle.
Okay, well, before I get into some of the individual things I want to ask you about, what about the economy generally? What's your sense of how the economy in the North East is?
Well, I represent digital, so digital's a thriving industry. There's 2 types of company, people that develop technology or people that use technology. So everyone is a technology business. It's such an exciting time. I think we need more people in digital, and that's something I'm passionate about, is the skills gap, how we address it, what we do about it, and it's something I'm working as a governor with the university very closely with them on as well.
And Claire, you're perhaps in a bit of a niche, really, education and then education outwardly, but in your day-to-day business experience and meeting with people who are your peers, what do you think your view is on our local economy?
Well, I would agree with you, Dean, that obviously there are some amazing things going on locally, but I think there's a lot more that we can be doing to support enterprise, entrepreneurialism and skills development, which will then have a massive impact on the local economy in the years to come. So education is really my passion, and I think there's a big part to play in developing the skills that are needed for the future.
Jonathan, your members tend to be the entrepreneurial side. They are smaller, maybe a bit nimble, able to invest and control their own destiny. What are their view on the economy at the moment?
There's a lot of opportunity there, and the members would want to seize that opportunity rather than wait for it to be presented to them. And that's a massive cultural shift for the northeast of England and the Tees Valley. It's no longer waiting for the opportunities to come, it's to try and create them. And more people are doing that. I mean, in this event this morning is testament to that, isn't it? You've got 1,000 people here who are looking to grow businesses or to support them, and they're not waiting for somebody else to do it for them.
Well, turning to Dean, you're getting involved more than just your business, because as I understand it, you've created a sub-venture called Northern Stable. Tell us what Northern Stable is and what you want to do with it.
So Northern Stable's the giving back I mentioned earlier. I've learnt 21 years of how to grow and scale a business. So now we look to back the woman or man with a plan. So this is where people have got an idea and they really want to set up a new business, and they want to. It's not about the money, although we do invest. It's about who they need around them, the teams and people, what they need to succeed in business.
So what kind of people have you been engaging with?
There's one person here, Jessica, that's just sat down the front, who's going to run a social media management company. Sure, if you want to speak to Jess later on, people can. We also work with Sales Fight, it's on Albert Road in Middlesbrough. There's 4 or 5 companies that we work with, and we've got about another 3 or 4 in the pipeline as well.
I know you're investing in any of them as well.
Invest in all of the companies that we speak to. That's
right. Okay. So what level of investment are you interested in talking to people about?
Really, it's startups. It's people with an idea. It's people that have got a job now that have got a really good idea, but they want to be the MD of their own company. They want to take on staff, but they don't understand and they need help with the barriers to entry. So is it finances? Is it an FD? Is it help with HR? Is it help with everything that wraps around growing a company? Finding an office as an example.
Claire, we just heard Dean talk about that, and at least 2 of the 5 companies he mentioned were run by women. Now, there have been a number of initiatives to do with women in business. You clearly have been a successful person in leading your business.
I think there's some definite improvements. I mean, it's quite interesting. I look around this fabulous event, like Dean said, and interestingly, there's probably a real 50-50 mix in terms of business representation. There's still a long way to go, because if you look at the women in senior roles, then it is disproportionate. However, I'm a huge fan of employing the right person for the job, regardless of gender. So I don't think that women should be given roles just to get the percentages right. That's a nonsense. But there's a lot more that we can be doing in terms of aspiration. And again, that starts in very, very young education.
Yeah.
And all the way through education, university, there are some fantastic education establishments here in the region, and we need to be making sure that women are supported and given specific skills and the opportunities to thrive.
Moving on to the Entrepreneurs Forum, you heard Claire talking about giving support to women, but you actually run mentorship events, don't you, and a Scale-Up Academy.
Yeah, the mentor program within the forum, we have around about 100 business people who are able to give back and share their experience with people who are maybe coming to the situations for the first time, and it's really useful for those individuals to talk to somebody else about the circumstances that they're confronting, and also about what the potential of the business is. I mean, separate from that, there is a Scale-Up Leaders Academy where that's more of a coaching of the individuals within the business, to not only so they can focus on sort of 4 or 5 key areas of what they need to address to grow, but also how that they can share that within their businesses, because whatever those people learn, it's got to be applied in their businesses.
Well, it's very interesting to talk to all 3 of you. Continue your efforts to promote enterprise, your own enterprise, and that of other people, and thank you for joining us here today.
Thank you,
Graham.
Thanks.